In continuation with the previous video that how to write the rate expression for any reaction, let's solve some numericals on that. Suppose this reaction is given to me, 2A plus B gives 3C. The rate of appearance of C is 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4 mole per liter per second. We have to calculate the rate of reaction and then we have to calculate the rate of disappearance of A. Now how to solve such type of questions? First of all, by looking at the reaction, we will write the expression for rate. So rate is equal to, now for reactants we use negative because as your time passes the concentration of reactant decreases, minus 1 upon 2 dA upon dt. D we use for instantaneous rate and whatever number of moles are there that comes in the denominator part. It is equal to minus dB upon dt. Since these two are reactants, so negative sign is there. It is equal to, now C is the product, so 1 upon 3 dC upon dt. Okay, means a rate can be calculated from the concentration of A also. It can be calculated from B and can be calculated from C also, and all the three are equal. So what is given to me? The rate of appearance of C is given to me, means dC upon, so dC upon dt is 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4. So what is rate now? Now rate is equal to 1 upon 3 dC upon dt, and dC upon dt is given to me. So this rate of appearance of C is this dC upon dt. It is 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay, and if we solve it, we'll get the answer. The answer will be 4.33 into 10 to the power minus 5. Now what is the unit of rate? Concentration upon time, that is mole per liter per second. Okay, so first answer is solved, that calculate the rate of reaction. Since the concentration of C is given to me, so I have calculated the rate in terms of C. Now the second is the rate of disappearance of A. Okay, now I have to calculate the rate of disappearance of A, means I have to calculate dA upon dt. Okay, now why 1 upon 2, 1 upon 3 is there? They are all used for equating the terms. Okay, so rate of appearance of C means dC upon dt. Rate of disappearance of A means I have to calculate dA upon dt. So how it is done? So now we can neglect negative sign. Okay, negative sign is only for showing that it is reactant or it is product. So it is 1 upon 2 dA upon dt is equal to 1 upon 3 dC upon dt, because all the three terms are equal. Now dC upon dt we know, just now we have calculated. Okay, just now it is given in the question 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4, and we have to calculate dA upon dt. So dA upon dt is equal to 2 by 3 into dC upon dt. So it is 2 by 3, and what is dC upon dt? It is given to us 1.3 into 10 to the power minus 4. So if you solve it, you will get the answer. It is 8.6 into 10 to the power minus 5. Again the unit will be same, that is mole per liter per second. Okay, so such type of questions also come in the board paper, that for any reaction calculate the rate of disappearance, calculate the rate of appearance, like this. And for solving such type of questions, we have to first write the rate expression. Okay, and whatever stoichiometric coefficients are there, they come in the denominator part. So now let's move on to the next topic in this chapter, that is factors affecting rate of a reaction. Till now we have learnt what is the meaning of rate of a reaction, what is average rate, what is instantaneous rate, experimentally how you can calculate average or instantaneous rate. Okay, and now we'll discuss the factors which affect the rate of a reaction. The first factor is concentration of reactant. Now you can see the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of reactant. Now in the beginning, when the concentration of reactant is more, the rate is more. Now as the time passes, the concentration of reactant decreases and rate also decreases. So as your time passes, the concentration of reactant decreases. So rate also decreases. Now there should not be any confusion that we can calculate the rate of reaction by using the concentration of reactant and product. Just now we have calculated in the numerical. That rate can be calculated from the reactant as well as from the product. But rate basically depends on, okay, these two are different things. Rate basically depends upon the reactant. Okay, suppose a reaction is going on, okay, and in the beginning if you add some more reactant in the meantime, okay, suppose a reaction is going on and in the meantime suppose you add some more reactant, what will happen? Again the rate will increase. So rate of reaction depends upon the concentration of reactant only. So this is the first factor. The second factor is temperature. Again here rate of reaction is again directly proportional to the temperature of the reaction. As the temperature increases, the rate also increases. And if you decrease the temperature, the rate will also decrease. We have noticed this thing. Suppose we have cold water and if we put some sugar in it, the dissolution will take time. But if you increase the temperature of that water, or if you take hot water, what will happen? The sugar will dissolve immediately. So as the temperature increases, the rate of reaction also increases. And it has been observed that for every 10 degrees Celsius rise in temperature, this is experimentally observed, the rate of reaction is doubled. Okay. So rate is directly proportional to temperature. The third factor which affect the rate of reaction is nature of reactants and products. Now, what is a chemical reaction? A chemical reaction involves breaking of old bonds and formation of new bonds. It means the rate will depend on how the bonds are broken or how the new bonds are formed. Suppose the old bonds are very strong. It means the rate of reaction will be slow, because in that case much time will be required for breaking the bonds. So rate of reaction also depends upon the strength of bonds, or you can say the nature of reactants and products. So I am taking two examples here. The two reactions are same. These two are combustion reactions, okay, but the first reaction is fast and the second reaction is slow. Okay, now it means that since we have changed the reactants and products, the rate of reaction is also different. So rate of reaction depends upon the nature of reactants as well as products. Now let's discuss some other factors. The next factor is catalyst. Now what is a catalyst? Catalyst is that substance which increases the rate of reaction but itself does not undergo any change. In the organic chemistry we have seen so many catalysts. Nickel, platinum, palladium, iron. Okay, so many catalysts are there. So whatever catalyst we are adding in the reaction, it always increases the rate of the reaction. So catalyst has positive effect on the rate of a reaction. The next is surface area of reactant. Okay, larger the surface area, faster is the rate of reaction, and this we have observed also. In lab when we do salt analysis, we give you powdered salts so that they react fast. Okay, so powdered finely divided substances or powdered substances react faster than the massive ones, because if you divide the substance, okay, what will happen? The surface area will increase. Okay, so by finally dividing the substance or breaking the substance into parts, the surface area increases. New surface is created. So rate of reaction will also increase. And last is exposure to radiation. There are many reactions in which the rate increases in the presence of radiations. Now this is the example. Hydrogen and chlorine, they will react only in the presence of sunlight. Suppose if we don't use sunlight here, they will not react at all. So in some of the cases, the rate of reaction is increased in the presence of radiations. So these are the few factors which affect the rate of a reaction. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is the dependence of reaction rate on concentration. It is known as rate law expression, or simply it is known as rate law. Now we can calculate the rate by using the concentration of reactant as well as product. But rate actually depends upon the concentration of reactant only. And what is this relation? Suppose if I double the concentration of reactant, how many times the rate will increase? This we have to derive. And this derivation is known as rate law expression, or simply rate law. Suppose I am having this reaction A plus B gives 2AB. Okay, in 11th class we have learnt law of mass action. Okay, now according to law of mass action, the rate of a reaction is directly proportional to concentration of reactant. So we'll apply law of mass action here. So according to law of mass action, the rate is proportional to concentration of A and concentration of B. Now what this square bracket indicates? It indicates molar concentration. Okay, this is in accordance with law of mass action. That rate is proportional to the product of concentrations of reactants. Suppose if 3 reactants are there, we'll write 3. 1 is there, we'll write 1, like this. Now if we remove the proportionality sign, one constant comes, that is K. And this K here, it is known as rate constant. This is a proportionality constant. Okay, it is also known as velocity constant. And this K is also known as specific reaction rate. Now how to define this K? We know that in order to define any proportionality constant, suppose I want to define K, then what we'll do? We'll put other things equal to 1. This we have done in earlier chapters. So how we can define K? If concentration of A and concentration of B is equal to 1, then rate becomes equal to K. So suppose if the question comes that define rate constant, then how will you define? Rate constant is equal to rate when the concentration of reactant is 1 or unity. So in order to define the rate constant, if you put the concentration of reactant as 1, then whatever rate is coming, that is equal to rate constant. And whenever for defining anything we use 1, 1, 1, then specific comes. Okay, just like specific heat capacity, specific. So this word specific we use, that in order to define this constant, we have kept other things equal to 1. Okay, now let's discuss the characteristics of this rate constant. So these are the characteristics of rate constant, that larger the value of K, faster is the reaction. This K is experimentally measured. Okay, so different reactions have different values of K. Okay, and the value of K depends only on temperature. This is the most important point, that it will depend only on temperature, and this K is independent of the concentration of reactant. Okay, now the two things are different. Now the first is rate and second is rate constant. Okay, rate depends on concentration, okay, as well as temperature. So if you increase the temperature, the rate will increase. If you increase the concentration of reactant, the rate will increase. But this rate constant depends only on temperature. Okay, it is related only to the temperature rate constant. It is not related to the concentration of reactant. So this was all about rate law. Okay, so if any reaction is given to us, we can write the rate law for that reaction. Now suppose the reaction is like this. Okay, now A, B and C are the reactants. Small a, small b and small c are the stoichiometric coefficients. Then how to write rate law for this reaction. So suppose we have to write the rate law. So we'll write the rate law like this. K is the proportionality constant. Okay. Product of concentrations of reactant. But one important thing is there that you should note that here the number of moles are A, B and C. But here to the power I have put P, Q and R. Now what is this P, Q and R? The P, Q and R may or may not be equal to A, B and C. Okay? It means that in the rate law, whatever power comes to the concentration term, it can be equal to the stoichiometric coefficient and it cannot be. This we can measure, or this we can find out only experimentally. Okay, suppose one reaction is there. Now this is the reaction. Now experimentally I will calculate. The rate law is always calculated experimentally. Okay, theoretically we cannot write rate law. So suppose for this reaction the rate law is rate is equal to K, NO2 and F2. Now what is the difference? What is the number of moles of NO2? 2. Number of moles of F2? 1. But in the rate law to the power 1 and 1 is there. So what you will conclude from this, that although there are 2 molecules of NO2 taking part in the reaction, but rate depends only on the one molecule, only on the concentration of one molecule of NO2. This is experimental data. That rate basically depends upon the concentration of one molecule of NO2 and one molecule of F2. So this is theoretical and this is experimental. So in the rate law, what power will come to the concentration term? We don't know. This we can calculate or measure only experimentally. So if the numerical comes on this, the rate law will be given to us because we don't know that what power we have to use. So what is P, Q and R? P, Q and R are the power to the concentration terms and they can be equal to stoichiometric coefficient or they cannot be. This we can find out only experimentally. So P, Q and R are determined experimentally. It means that for any reaction, rate law cannot be written by simply looking at the reaction. Suppose if I look at the reaction, to the power of NO2, 2 should come. Okay, but here 1 is there. So by simply looking at the reaction, theoretically we cannot write the rate law. For writing the rate law, the reaction has to be performed experimentally. Then only we can come to know that what power will come.